Chris, thank you. Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to speak to you as your Minister in the Home Office. And while we can question, and some of us may do, some of the practicalities in the motion, I want to speak broadly in support of the motion and encourage you all to vote for it. Due to the ongoing court action, it would not be appropriate for me to comment at this stage directly on the case of David Miranda. Nick Clegg has been very clear that we will await the report of David Anderson QC into that case, and we will look at his review very carefully. David Anderson is able to review secret intelligence material and make a clear, professional and non-partisan judgment about the case, and as a party that cares deeply about protecting civil liberties, it's important that we await his formal verdict. But I can talk about Schedule 7 powers more generally and what we're doing to limit those powers in government. And I will make an open admission that it is sometimes difficult to be a Liberal Democrat minister in the Home Office. Sometimes you see those vans, they say, "Go home," and I'm thinking, God, are those directed at me? And on the point of those vans, let me just make clear in passing that I and we didn't agree those vans, and they've gone, and we won't be agreeing any proposals to bring them back on our street. But I was saying life could be sometimes difficult in the Home Office, but it does give us opportunities to implement legislation and lead a debate in a way that we couldn't have done if we weren't in government. And we are currently, as Sarah was saying, putting forward changes, legislative changes in Parliament on Schedule 7. It is important, and I think it's worth making this point, it is important that stopping and interviewing people at ports and airports is recognised as being necessary for public safety and UK security. We are not saying that there should be no powers for the state in this area, but we do have to strike the right balance between security and civil liberties. And we are making, at the moment, a number of changes to Schedule 7 in the Antisocial Behaviour, Crime and Policing Bill. The proposed changes to the powers include a reduction in the maximum period of detainment from 9 hours to 6 hours, extending the right to consult privately with a solicitor, the extension of the right to have a person informed of their detention, the repeal of the power to take an intimate sample, and measures to improve the training of staff working at our ports and border control points, and other provisions as well. They may not go as far as some people in this hall would wish, but they are a substantial set of proposals that will move this legislation decisively in a Liberal direction. We can all agree that previous Schedule 7 powers were too broad and overbearing. They are an example of Labour's almost complete disregard for civil liberties. So it does jar for Liberal Democrats and Liberal Democrats in the House of Commons to hear Labour criticise us on the case of David Miranda or civil liberties more generally. This, of course, is the party of ID cards, control orders, and 90-day detention. We're not talking 9 hours at Heathrow. Under Labour, we were talking about 90 days at Belmarsh. And compare that with the Liberal Democrat record in government. We've scrapped ID cards, we've taken innocent people off the DNA database, we've reformed criminal record checks for ordinary people, we've ended control orders, we've restored the right to protest, we've protected freedom of speech, and we've ended child detention. If anybody ever asks you, are the Liberal Democrats making a difference in government? The answer is yes, emphatically. In the area of civil liberties, our party, as the only party that is instinctively, to our core, a Liberal party, is making a difference right now in legislation on civil liberties, and you, by voting for this motion, can help to make a further difference. I'm proud of the record of the Liberal Democrats in government. I'm proud of the successes we've achieved rolling back Labour's intrusive and authoritarian regime, and I'm proud that the Liberal Democrats are now working in government to reform Schedule 7. Please support the motion.